This is part 3 of the PC and build project. We're going to reassemble back the PC. Make sure you guys have your PC case ready. Make sure you have your Phillips and flathead screwdriver and have your static band on standby before touching the components. And let's get started. So first we're going to put back the power switch located right at the end of here. We're just going to slip this through nice and gently and just push it in. Should hear a little snap. Okay, perfect. Okay, now that we have the power switch in, we're gonna take our motherboard. We're gonna take our motherboard and our CPU, and we're gonna put the CPU inside the motherboard. And now we're gonna put the motherboard inside the casing. Okay, now that the motherboard is set, you're gonna make sure that the PC fan is aligned. Make sure they're aligned just to make sure it don't fall off. You know, make sure it's grounded with the casing. We're gonna take our 6 screws and put them into the motherboard. First screw. Put it all the way over here. Make sure you put the screws in the right spots. Okay, once you put all the screws in place, you're just going to screw back in. We're going to start with this tallest one. Okay, and then you're going to screw all them down. That's the first one. Get our second one done. Third. Okay, make sure you get the fourth one. Okay, and get this 5th one. And the 6th one we already screwed in. And once the motherboard is screwed in place, we're going to take our internal speaker and install it into the case. Should clip in easily. And then over here we're going to plug in the power switch. Once the power switch is in, we're going to connect our internal speaker into the motherboard. So that's in correctly. Then we're going to go to the right side of the PC and install this bracket. First install it, putting it all the way on the side. Don't know if you guys see it. See, like that. Just going to align it, take our screw and screw it in using the Phillips screwdriver. We're going to take our fan, we're going to set the fan aside, and we're going to take our power supply and also set this aside. We're going to connect the power supply that's all the way in the back of the fan. Okay. The reason we did this is because the fan is blocking all these cables, so we're just going to also install the sensor. Add the CPU fan through this section over here. I'm going to slip it right over here. And first we're going to just install the cable first. That's all the way in the back of here. Okay, now that the fan is connected, it's gonna put it in place. Make sure the screws align with the motherboard so we can screw it in with our Phillips screwdriver. Okay, now that it's aligned, we're gonna screw it down. Now the second one. Once it can't go down no more, that means you got it. The screws stick up. Okay, now the fan is connected to the motherboard. We're gonna add our RAM. Gonna add our RAM. Okay, now it's time for the next RAM. Gotta put it in this way, it only goes in through one way. Sometimes it can be stuck. It takes a little bit of power. Now that we got the RAM installed, we're gonna put in the power supply. Just gonna slide it in. Slide it in, and then we're gonna take the three screws that we had from earlier and then screw it back in using the Phillips screwdriver. Screw the first one in, the second. Okay, third one. All three screws are installed. We're gonna connect this cable back in. Make sure that's in. And you could also put this wire over here. As you see this clip, just push it right back. Just stick it in place. You can do this for this one too. I disconnect the cable just so I can reach the spots, and then we're gonna do that. But after, connect back the power supply switch, and in the meantime, we could connect back our optical drive. Slide it in like this. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our SATA, put it into the optical drive. And then we're gonna take our power, and install it as well. We're gonna put the optical drive aside. We're gonna install our SATA cable, put it into the motherboard. Okay, this goes into the SSD. So first we're gonna install the power cable, put it into the motherboard. Okay, make sure it's all the way in. Okay, once the SATA cable is connected, you're gonna grab your rear fan, connect it to the motherboard. The optical drive is gonna be blocking it, so make sure you do this step. Okay, once it's in, gonna make sure it's facing this way and lining up with the rubber. Hope you guys can see that with the rubber. And you're just gonna slide it in. Okay, once the fan is installed properly, you're gonna take your SSD, prop it, and you're gonna take your two cables, your SATA and your power cable. Now your power. Okay. And there is a few clips on the side of this SSD. We're gonna just prop the wires along here like this. And also these as well. Okay, now almost getting to the last part. We're gonna take our side panel. You no longer need this anymore. No longer need the static band. We're gonna prop. Just clip it in. Make sure it's on correctly. Now it's time for the front panel. Just to help you, you have to make sure the end of the piece is really at the end of this little spot. See over here? Line it up. And then it'll work. It'll take a little bit of tries. Okay. Seems like we reached the end of the build and maintenance video. I hope you learned how to properly disassemble, clean and maintain, and reassemble a Dell Optiplex 7040. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a good rest of your day.